Oh, they got their haircuts this week, so. They're all cozied up in their beds. Yeah, everybody would like to be here too. Yeah, you can see they got their bandanas on, so that's how you know they got a haircut. One with like severe diabetes, the other one with anxiety more than anybody's ever seen. Shabbat achim gam yachad, hine ma tov u'manayim. Shabbat achim gam yachad, hine ma tov u'manayim. Shabbat achim gam yachad, hine ma tov u'manayim. Shabbat achim gam yachad. Tov u'manayim, Shabbat achim gam yachad, hine ma tov u'manayim, Shabbat achim gam yachad. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Good Shabbos. I'm so glad to see you all. As we have come to this week of as this week comes to a close and we get to pause for Shabbat, so much is happening in our world and on our minds and in our own lives. All of us carry so much. And I used to, when I was beginning this job, ask people to put down their stuff for a while and stay present with us. But as I have learned in my own personal life, it's not realistic to ask you to put down everything you've been thinking about. Instead, many of you have been hearing me say this a lot lately, our goal is to widen our container, to be able to contain the joy of Shabbat and contain the things that are going on in our personal lives, in our world, all while making sure that we're not getting sucked into a trauma vortex. Being present means understanding that we can hold so much. And widening that container is our responsibility. So this Shabbat, I'm going to invite you all to think about giving just a little more space to rest and joy and caring for one another as we welcome Shabbat in this evening. We are going to start with our prayer called the Synagogue, which is on page 3. This prayer was written by Rabbi Saul Greenberg, who was the rabbi emeritus at the synagogue where I used to work in Cincinnati as a fellow many years ago. So I'm glad to be able to say this with all of you this evening. May the doors of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for fellowship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the doors of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and anger. May its threshold be no stumbling block for young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May these doors open the way to our search for God and our commitment to humanity. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. I'm going to invite Bart and Judy forward now to light Shabbat candles, which you'll find the blessings on page 9. If you're at home, we're so glad you're joining us. I hope you'll light your Shabbat candles at home as well. This is our first Shabbat where it's dark enough outside to really officially light the candles. We've done it. We've made it to winter. אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. Good Shabbos. Thank you, cutest couple in America. Thank you also for putting together our lovely pre-nag this evening. Appreciate you both very much. We're going to continue welcoming Shabbat with song and psalms. Shalom Aleichem is on page 10. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Kadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A psalm of joy, the bottom of page 12, Psalm 99. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lechar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lechar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lechar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. As we continue welcoming Shabbat with Lecha Dodi, I'm reminded, of course, of a question from a seventh grader that I got this week, last week or at some point. Why do we always move during services? Why we aren't just sitting still, standing, sitting, bowing, turning around, this, that? What's the deal? And my answer, of course, is my favorite thing to say, which is prayer choreography was invented by somebody at some point, and then, as with everything that we do, just kept. The idea of embodying prayer, however, is not something that we are strangers to. The idea that we literally, when you see an Orthodox Jewish man pray, he's literally often doing a lot of this, moving back and forth. I've never stood still once in my whole life, so that's probably a personal problem. But I'm just thinking more about how we put the prayers in our bodies and what it means to physically do something different. So if standing is too much, or if it hurts or something, as I always will say, listen to your body. But at the same time, maybe shift your posture a little bit. Think about what it means to be present and to stay grounded. Or as we do in this prayer, we turn and we literally face the door at the end to welcome the Shabbat presence into our midst as we bow every way to signify that Shabbat and God are everywhere. So just some things to think about from the mouths of the seventh graders. It came in the Ask It basket, actually, which you can see over here, which they put their little questions in, their anonymous questions, and then I get to answer. So I hope that's an answer for all of you, too. We're going to continue with Lecha Dodi on page 14. Lecha Dodi likra kala penei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likra kala penei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor v'divorachan hishmianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litchila lecha dodi likra kala penei Shabbat nekavela lecha dodi kala penei Shabbat nekavela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor haberacha merosh mikadam nasucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat Lecha Dodi likra kala penei Shabbat nekavela hitoreri kiva orech kumi uri shir daveri kevod Adonai alayech nigla lecha Dodi likra kala Lecha Dodi likra kala penei Shabbat nekavela Vo'i v'shalom ateret bala gam v'simcha u'v'sohola toch emunei am segula Vo'i chala Lecha Dodi likra kala penei Shabbat nekavela Lecha Dodi likra kala penei Shabbat nekavela Yai lai 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 We're going to continue with Chatzi Kaddish the Kaddish, which is done five different times throughout a traditional service, always words of praise, one right after the other. We'll join together on page 17. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabba Be'alma divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uvyomechon Uchaye dochol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Uvizman kariv V'imaru Amen Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Ulal Me'omaya Yibarach V'yishtabach V'yipa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnasei V'yitadar V'yitale V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha B'richu Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Ta'amirang Be'alma V'yimeru Amen. I invite you to rise. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. And our blessing gives us strength and makes our visions clear. And our blessing gives us peace and the courage to dare. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. I invite you all to be seated. We're going to continue at the top of page 20 in the English. Will you pray with me? Somewhere at the fringes of night, the shadows of darkness soften, and earth comes alive with hints of light. And my heart fills with fresh, bright hope, and the world stirs to give birth to color. Colors are secrets not seen in the dark, like the promise of God when darkness is visible. Creator, you who bring dawn from the darkness, break the used goblets of my yesterdays. Let me find wisdom in the shards and grow in knowledge of your eternal presence. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Blessed are you, Almighty One, who makes the evenings fall. And Shema on page 22. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'otecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha Veshinantam levanecha, vedibarta bam, beshivtecha beveitecha, uvelechtecha vaderech, uveshochbecha uvekumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafo beineinecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Bottom 24. Leman tizkeru v'asitem ekol mitzotai v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. Now, usually I keep the bima pretty clear, but I've been keeping, this lives here now for a while, because this is a tiny baby Moses that one of our sixth graders crocheted for me. Isn't it so cute? I simply can't stand it. It's really adorable. So there's baby Moses, on the river. Right? Pretty good. I mean, for a sixth grader, I couldn't do this. Not now. My tiny Moses. I really like it. I've been talking about it basically since I received it. Is that accurate? Yeah, okay, thank you. Just checking to make sure. So I wanted to share it with you because we're going to sing Mi Chamocha, which is, of course, the story of the Jews landing on the other side of the sea and their celebration song, but mostly because of look at how cute it is. I really, have you seen my tiny mouse? You haven't? Isn't it so cute? I know. You're welcome to come take a look at it, but I really, so anyway, we're going to pray that prayer, but I just... It doesn't take much these days. No, really anything, and what a crafty person. I can't believe it. We're on page 25. Yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha na'etar b'kodesh, nora tehilo tosefele, nora tehilo tosefele. Malachutecha ra'u v'anecha, v'okei hayam livnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'elianu ve'amru, ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam ba'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam ba'ed. Yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. For 2 years now, since October 7th, we have been praying this prayer, Hashivenu. I mean, we've been doing it for a long time. But my intention when I pray this prayer now feels a little different in praying for a shelter of peace over us, over the world, over Israel, over all humanity. So I hope you'll join me. The Hebrew words are sort of at the top of page 26, and then the English words at the bottom of page 27, a design feature that we will update in this next year. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now, so wrap me in your arms and guide my steps, and help me make this day a song of praise to you. So wrap me in your arms and guide my steps. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Amen. We are going to turn together to page 51. I invite you to rise for the Amidah. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai Tivtach. Na 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 Ufi Yagi. Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai Tivtach. Na 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 Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai Tivtach. Na na Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah v'Elohei Rachel Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai. Mechayei hakol atarav lehoshia. Mechakel chayim bechesed. Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofech holim. Umatir asurim. Umekayem emunato lishenei afar michamocha va'al gevurot umido melech mimitz umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. I'm going to invite you now to finish these prayers. You can use the words on the page, the prayers of your heart. You can stand or sit, whatever feels good for you, and we'll continue together in a few moments. son, imrefi, imrefi, ve'yon libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri. Friends, we are like 3 weeks or 4 weeks into the book of Genesis at this point. 4, must be 4. That's how many Torah portions there have been. And we're in Vayera, which means Abraham sees. And as with all the things that happen in Genesis, this Torah portion is packed. The things that I think, there's so much to talk about. But I wanted to share with you an experience that some of us were lucky enough to have this past weekend. Julie went with us, and some other people went to see this play downtown called Here There Are Blueberries, which is a show about this album that was uncovered and donated to the Holocaust Museum in DC in 2006 or 7. And it was all these photos that had never been seen before of not of what we usually see when we see photos of Auschwitz and the Holocaust, which are people who were suffering and all of those things that are appropriate. But this was like a scrapbook. Julie, is that how you would? It was a high-ranking Nazi officer's scrapbook of these people living their lives, having a nice time. One of the captions of one of the photos was, "Here there are blueberries," and I have a lot of feelings about that particular gentleman, considering the context of the photo is all these women eating blueberries, and he's got his arms around them. It's gross. Nazis, gross. But also, it was a really interesting take on something that I had never seen before, and it really made me think. The question that they were asking in this play was, whose perspective is here and whose is not? Right? They were asking other questions too, like, what is our responsibility when we see something? How does it become, like, the way that all these people were portrayed is they were doing their jobs. They were doing their jobs. Oh, I'm so excited to move up in the ranks, right? And I wasn't involved because I was just the so-and-so. I was just the secretary. And it really made, I think, those of us who were in the audience that night think about, like, what could we, if it's just something really small like that, where are we complicit and what are the things that we have to do? What's our responsibility, right? That's the question I came away with. And then, of course, in this Torah portion, Abraham is welcoming these strangers into his camp, and they walk by him, and he says, "Come on in," and he welcomes them in. He's the first of our ancestors to show us what it means to truly be welcoming to people who are not like us. So that was a big thing for that conversation. Julie, would you say that sums it up? It was an incredible production, and I'm still, like, chewing on it. But the question that I have come away with, we talk so much about what we don't talk about and what we do talk about, and all these things, but the question that I really came away with was, who gets to tell the story? Whose narrative gets to be told, right? Because the story of these archivists in the Holocaust Museum was that they didn't want to put these pictures up because they were like, well, our focus is victims, right? We don't want to glamorize this horrible experience. We want people to think about who this happened to. So in this Torah portion, Abraham welcomes these strangers. Sarah's told she's going to have Isaac. Lot escapes Sodom and Gomorrah with Abraham, and his wife turns into a pillar of salt. Like, so much happened. All these good stories, right? So much to talk about. The Akedah, the binding of Isaac, is in this Torah portion. But the thing that really stood out to me as I've been thinking about this is the story of Sarah and Hagar, right? We have this story of this other brother of Isaac's named Ishmael, who is the child of, when Sarah and Abraham can't have a child, Sarah says, okay, here's my slave, here's my concubine, my enslaved person, you get to have it, this will be your child, so you can have descendants as God promised you, which are as numerous as stars in the sky. Here you go. And then Sarah gets angry and jealous, and in last week's Torah portion, kicks Hagar, and Ishmael goes to expel them out of the camp. Well, last week she gets jealous, so Hagar leaves on her own, and then this week Sarah kicks them out. And that's sort of the last thing we hear about Sarah. Her voice isn't really heard at all. And in fact, I think I mentioned this, I'm sure I mentioned this on Yom Kippur, or on Rosh Hashanah morning, the Akedah, the story of the binding of Isaac, her voice isn't there at all. Which then leads me to ask the question that I like to ask whenever I'm examining a Torah portion, which is, who wrote it? Who's missing? Whose voice do we hear? And whose voice do we not hear? Sorry, David, it's getting so big. Oh my God. Who is in the story, right? Oftentimes, the victors tell the story, the versions of history that they want to be heard. And I'm thinking a lot about what are the things that we have to hold on to right now to understand the reality of the world around us, right? Thinking about museums and the places that we go to educate ourselves that are changing. The libraries that are being told what they can and cannot have on their shelves. The places that we have to go to make sure and support, to make sure that we can teach the next generation of people how to be good human beings, which includes telling a whole story. The story of Hagar is not one of our prettiest ones. It's horrible, really. And so we have to, it's our job, our responsibility to wrestle with the idea that perhaps our tradition doesn't always tell stories that are so easy and beautiful to digest. And if that's the case, what's our responsibility to these stories, to these pieces of the Torah, this text that we consider to be so holy, that we pass down from generation to generation? One of the things I say to 7th graders is I like to take the Torah seriously, but not literally. And then the question becomes, if that's true, then what does it matter? Why do we then pass it from one generation to the next if we're not sure if the stories are real history? Whatever real is. The answer, of course, collective memory. And if our ancestors fought so hard to preserve these words, to pass them to us, then I think it is our responsibility to wrestle with the stuff that's not so nice. Because as we learned this past week, we have that in us too, unfortunately. The pieces that aren't so nice. It's our responsibility to hold both. The both and of everything. I've really been, I don't know, Julie, I've really been turning that story over and over. Oh, lessons, you guys were there too, right? Oh yeah, okay, so people were there, right? Other people, right? I'm just Julie's here. Right? But I'm thinking so much about that story and about the way that they told it. And I'm curious about now, a week later, as we look at the Torah portion through that lens of who's telling the stories, who wrote them down, who passed them to us, and we still consider them holy and important pieces of our tradition. The idea of wrestling with both of those things, I think, is really important. You have a thought? I love this. I'm ready.
Important things are not always nice.
Important things are not always nice. That's true. It's true, Claire. Right? The good stuff isn't always the stuff that we need to retain, the stuff that's important isn't always good or easy. It's true. It's true. Is there anything else you guys have been thinking about since you saw the show last week that you want to make sure people know? I know. That was a big sigh from Julie, in case you didn't hear it. It was really intense. Yeah.
I think it's that idea that they, the Nazi, whatever,
Yeah.
that they were having this day all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that we learned is that these photos unearthed this side of these horrible death camps that, like, they had a ski chalet basically next to a river, and like they were going there for fun, and one of them said, oh, my dad said it was the best time of his life. Right? The difference in experiences that we have to hold is, it was baffling to me. Judy, you have a thought? Oh, thanks. Right. The banality of evil. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the idea that like one little piece, everybody has one little job, and therefore you sort of break it up and it's not so bad. Right? What's our responsibility in the world? That came up a lot for us. And we did like a post discussion with the actors, which was very fancy and exciting. Oh yeah, Karen, please.
And the son, the grandson of one of the SS.
Yeah, the grandson of one of the SS officers.
Yeah, how initially he was a lot like his grandfather with anger inside and always ready to fight. Was going to be the change. He was going to break the chain
Yeah.
for the future.
Yeah, if in case you didn't hear that, one of the grandsons that was portrayed in this production, he was a lot like his grandfather in that he had so much anger and he didn't know where it came from, and it was passed down through his lineage. And then he made the choice to break that chain. Right? There are some traditions like the Torah that we pass down that are so important and give us community and life and hope, and then there are some things that we pass down that aren't as good. Parents, is that inaccurate? Some things that we have received in our lives, and so it's our responsibility then to decide how we're going to deal with those things. It was really moving, but it really made me start to think about the women's voices, especially in Torah, that are missing. Because I just think if Abraham had gone to Sarah and said, I'm going to sacrifice the son that you had when you were 99, she would have said, get out of here. Like, there's no way, right? I waited 99 years for this child. You can't have him. I don't care what your relationship is with this God that you say that you believe in. That's not what's happening here. So I think it's really important for us to, as we're reading, examining, thinking about sources that, like, even on the things that we read in the news, who wrote it? What's missing? What can we add? How can we build something that looks better than where we are at this moment? Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't see the
Yeah. Yeah.
but I am an alive person
You are an alive person, that's true.
in the US of A.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It seems to me that the questions all apply to each of us as we live here now.
Absolutely.
As we see
Absolutely.
what's happening on the streets
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
cruelty and hideousness
Yeah.
of it all. The same questions apply to every single one of us.
Right.
If we're not doing something actually contrary to it, we're complicit.
Well, silence is right. So I don't know if you heard Ellen. What she said was that these comparisons. It's like pretty clear to see what's happening in our country right now. What are we complicit in? If silence is complicitness, what are we doing? What are the small things that we are doing or not doing? And that goes back to my ideas of like what I talked about at the High Holidays, which is like one little thing can change everything, right? What we're seeing right now can be so overwhelming. So it's our responsibility, I think, to break it down, to take it piece by piece, to understand that like part of making sure that people do not come together to fix a situation is by overwhelming their systems. So it's our responsibility to do a little fixing every day, just a little bit, a little ripple. Yeah. Shabbat shalom, everybody. we're going to take a moment now to pause and think about all of the people in our lives and in the world who are in need of healing, of body and of mind and of spirit. This evening we are especially thinking of David Sloan, Art Scaife, and Daniel Zendel, and Mary Chezek, Rabbi Arnie, and Sharon Curran, and Janice Book, and Dorothy Halprin, Ted Golden, and Steve Rode, and Clint McCormick, and Les Davis, and Larry Littman, and Joel Ben Moshe, and Cindy Silverman, Shani Lewins, and Wendy Demp, and Yona Batchaim. If there's anybody else you're thinking of this evening whose name you'd like to share with our community, I invite you to do that. You can either stand or raise your hand. And if you're at home, I invite you to say those names aloud in your space.
I'm a single Tatsi.
Thank you. Yeah.
I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
The cancer's 99% gone.
Good.
Oh, that's
Good.
wonderful.
Good.
Things are going pretty good.
Good. Thank you.
Oh,
Glenn. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you.
Oh,
We're gonna keep thinking of you.
Carolyn Pterodactyl.
Thank you. Thank you.
Robert Golden, Minna Golden, Douglas Golden, Rhoda Golden, Melissa Golden, Rita Golden, Zoe Brennan.
Thank you.
Marty Narensky, Jan Kahn, Mary Alice Boone.
Thank you.
John McCaskill III.
Julia Sawyer.
Zoe Marcus, Judy Casper, Julie Palmer, Norm Raymond, Catherine Duncan, and Kyle Lott.
For all those people, named and not, we hold them in our hearts as we turn to Misha Berach, which you will find on page 67. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Ve'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. I'm going to invite forward Joan Firestone to share some announcements with all of you this evening, a member of our board. I noticed there's one missing. Tomorrow morning we have a young family Shabbat at 10 a.m. here in this room. So if you are a young person or you know young people and you want to come pray with us tomorrow morning, we do a lot of singing songs about dinosaurs and Shabbat. It's really fun. Okay. Thanks, Joan.
Yeah. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and our members, I'd like to extend a special welcome to all our congregants and anyone visiting us tonight. With the chilly weather upon us, the soup troop will be collecting new men's socks, gloves, and little hotties, foot and hand warmers. The CST teens will be making blankets. See the flyer in the front vestibule for more information. Project Light One Candle. See the board that's out there tonight in the lobby, and you can also go to our website to see the link to the sign-up genius. And this is about getting gifts for those in our community who are less fortunate and won't have anything to open on Hanukkah if it's not for people like us. Saturday, November 8th, that's this weekend, backed by popular demand, karaoke evening with DJ Jeff. 5th and 6th graders are welcome to join. That should be fun to see. Register on the website. Fall Fix Up with JFS is this Sunday, November 9th, and again, see the sign-up flyer in the lobby. Next Tuesday, November 11th, join Rabbi Alicia for a lunch and learn at noon. Shabbat Around America. Shabbat dinners are back, hosted by the Soup Troupe, Dinner Divas, and the Membership Committee. And the first one is next Friday, November 14th. Dinner at 5:45. Register on the website. We already have almost 60 people registered. So that's a little daunting maybe to those of us doing the cooking, but it's a great thing, and we are hoping for even more people to sign up. Annual Hanukkah spree will be Sunday, December 7th from 9:15 until noon. You can get all your little things you need to make the celebration brighter. Wednesday, December 17th, Shaare Tzedek is hosting a community-wide Hanukkah event with the Maccabees, and we are a partner sponsor. And that's that singing group that, you know, people send around their songs to one another in the holidays. Save the date for our annual Hanukkah Latke Cook-Off, Friday, December 19th. And thank you to Bart and Judy Lesson for sponsoring this lovely pre-neg this evening. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Joan. If you're planning to join us for the, if you're planning to join us for the fall fix-up, and you have heard that it's going to snow, look at your emails or text messages or whatever to see if we're actually gathering or not to rake leaves outside in the snow. I feel like we're pretty tough as Michiganders, but JFS may call it off, so just keep your eyeballs peeled for that morning. Rachel, you want to come open the ark with me? Oh, yeah. You want to come help open the ark? No. Okay, absolutely not. Ladies, you want to come help open the ark? No? No? Want to come help open the ark? Want to come help? It's gonna be so fun. Everybody, I'm gonna invite you all to rise and join together. We're for Aleinu, which is on page 74. Yes. All right, Mario, thank you. Rachel, why don't you go actually? Yeah, switch. Yeah, here we go. Yep. So you're gonna put your hand here, and then we're gonna open it together. Ready? Go ahead. Hold back. Yeah, there you go. Okay, all right. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'ted gedula le'yotzer v'reshit, shelo asanu k'gei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, ve'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei Malach, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai L'malach al Kol Ha'aretz, Bayom Hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad, U'shemo, Thank you. Yashkoch, you both. Thank you. I invite you to take a seat for just a moment. I'm on page 77. After a while, we learn the subtle difference between holding a hand and chaining a soul. And we learn that love doesn't mean leaning, and company doesn't always mean security. We learn that kisses aren't contracts and presents aren't promises. And we begin to accept our defeats with our heads up and our eyes straight forward. And we learn to build all our roads on today, because tomorrow's ground is too uncertain for plans, and futures have a way of falling down in mid-flight. After a while, we learn that even sunshine burns if we ask too much. So we plant our own gardens and decorate our own souls instead of waiting for someone to bring us flowers. And we learn that we really can endure, and we really are strong, that we really have worth. And we learn and we learn. With every goodbye, we learn. At this moment, we are in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Marjorie Gleit, mother of John and Pam, and mother-in-law of Deborah, grandmother of Rebecca and Jennifer. We're also in a period of Shloshim for Jacqueline and Helene Yeager, the mother of Stacy Solomon and grandmother of Jenna and Kevin McCluskey. We are also this week recalling the yard sites, the anniversary of the deaths of Edward Zoll, the brother of Elaine Zoll, and Jack Kane, father of Jenny Koenig, and Larry Goodman, our beloved congregant, and Bernard Weiner, father of Robin Harvey and husband of Harriet Weiner and beloved congregant, and Carl Markle, brother of Gretchen Toms. If there's anybody else that you're remembering this evening whose name you'd like to share with our community, I invite you to do so. Thank you. We rise and join together for the Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, which is on page 78. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitzadar v'yitzaleh v'yitzhalal shemei dekudasha brichu le'ela min kol berachata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'ramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace bring peace to all of you who mourn, and comfort to all of you who are bereaved here, and to all those everywhere, to which we say, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. I realize that some of you have had a little nash already, but you may not have, so we're going to say the brachot together and then go enjoy the rest of the lovely oneg that the lessons have put together, and we'll hang that time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam vorei peri hagafen. L'chaim, everybody. Is this a new cover, Jan? Oh, excellent. Okay, so if you're not here regularly, you don't know this, but the first and second graders make a new challah cover for us every week. Under Maura Jan's watchful eye. And this one is very cute. It's a really like giving me hair vibes, like 70s hair vibes. I really love it. So, isn't it adorable? It says, let your light shine. That's perfect as it's getting darker. That's a good one. Thank you, Jan. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Good Shabbos. May it be a Shabbat of rest and joy and finding some ways to take care of one another. Thank you all for being here. Introduce yourself to somebody new if you haven't done that yet. Say Shabbat shalom to someone new. Want a piece of this challah? You have to eat it outside, but you can take it from here if you want it. Oh, gloves. Excellent. Perfect. Excellent. You want a piece of challah? You can have one too. I mean, it's not like a Sal-only situation. Can I give you this? Okay. Ner Tamid. Now the Ner Tamid is off. Now it's on.
This is the arc lights.
Yep, that's the arc lights. That's the Ner Tamid. Is the next one.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Weird. I think there's 3. Aren't there 3? I can't see.
Put it in the
Who did this?
flipping
Okay,
spot.
wait, hold on. Hold on. Okay, wait. Will you go look and see
The stupidest spot
now?
ever. No, the lights, arcs are later off.
Arc lights are off.
Yep,
Now on?
nope,
Now off?
nope,
Now nothing. Okay.
not, oh shit, yeah, no,
Now they're on?
that on,
Okay. And the Ner Tamid is on?
and then their timing is on, but the inside lights are off.
Inside lights are still off.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this one?
Yep, they're there.
Okay, so that's the middle one. Okay, so what we need to do is put, is the the Ner Tamid stays at its spot, right?
Yeah,
So I think it's also a little bit too hot. And this one, does that go up more? Is that where we want it?
but those are bright enough.
Oh, I turn it off.
You turned it off.
Great. What about this? Are they on now?
Yep, they're on.
Okay, so in this one, okay, so this is the middle one is the one we want to cover. This is the only switch people should be flipping, is that
Right.
right? This one we need to cover totally.
I had a plastic cover over it, and somebody took it all off. I
Okay,
was like, do I take this off?
right, okay, so what should we should get like, I'm just thinking about like, what is the right method? Oh, and we should, you know what we also need to do, Jan? We need to put these silver candles.
Yeah, I can't find the bag, but they were there all, they were down there all year.
Were they? The bag is in with the tour covers.
And it's not.
Oh, shit.
At least I didn't see it. We looked, Becky and I both looked. But they were down here. That's where I got it. I'm sure.
All right. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to make or get little plastic covers for these slidey guys. That's just the top one and the middle one. The only one anybody should ever be touching is the bottom one. And they should even be moving the slider. Should only be on the switch, right?
And that's what I did before. I said,
Right.
oh my, like, just use this switch only.
Right. It's just like when people go in there, they don't even see it, right?
I'm
So
gonna
like,
put some plastic and put it over the top so you can't even
I'll
touch
touch
it.
it, right? The top one and the middle one.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
So
gonna
it's
block
yeah.
the others.
Yeah. Okay. So is everything on now? Okay.
Yeah, everything.
All right. Well, great. It sort of dims the hello. It dims the value of the experience when you open it up and it's like wah. Whoops. Okay, but I do want to turn those off now, those arc lights. So that's the bottom one, right?
Yeah, that's the
Okay,
very bottom.
just the switch.
Yep.
That's it. Okay. All right. Yes, we should put we could get like a,
There you go, there you
yeah,
go.
you have a thing, okay. All right. Because they have like, like air conditioners at buildings that are like,
Yeah, we know it's still on.
hi, Mom. The live stream is still on.
Yep.
Okay. Love you. Okay.
So you got touch about in the morning.
Touch about in the morning. Karaoke in the afternoon. I don't know if I'm going to make it to karaoke. We'll see.